relationship, a number in your bank account, a place you haven't yet been. It's always later, isn't it? Never now, never here. The problem is not that happiness eludes you. The problem is that you've trained yourself to believe that happiness is an object, something you must acquire, something you must earn. But happiness was never meant to be chased, because the moment you chase, you lose. Think about it. Every goal you have ever set was based on the idea that once you get there, you'll be happy. And every time, without fail, the moment arrives, and it's not enough. The satisfaction fades. The hunger returns. And so, the chase continues. Why? Because you never actually wanted happiness. You wanted relief. You wanted escape. You wanted to stop feeling like something was missing. But happiness has never been the solution to your suffering. It has been the excuse you use to avoid facing it. But the real sickness, you don't even know what happiness is. You have inherited your definition. It was given to you before you could question it, before you could resist it. You were taught to believe that happiness is achievement, that happiness is admiration, that happiness is winning. But those are just words, just ideas planted in your mind by a world that profits off your discontent. You have been conditioned to chase happiness, the way a gambler chases his last dollar, convinced that if he just keeps playing, eventually he'll win. But you don't win this game. The ones who chase the hardest are the most miserable. The people who have everything still feel empty. You think they are happy because they smile in their photos, because they speak in soft, wise voices about gratitude. But you don't see what happens when the cameras are off, when the rooms are empty, when there is nothing left to distract them from themselves. The chase never ends. They reach the top, and instead of peace, they find panic, because now there is nothing left to run toward, no new illusion to sell themselves. The world has convinced you that happiness is something you find. But the truth is, happiness is not there. It is not a location, not a reward, not something that waits for you at the end of your efforts. It is either here in this moment, or it does not exist at all. But here's the part you refuse to see. You don't actually want happiness, not in the way you claim. Because real happiness requires stillness. It requires that you stop running, stop striving, stop reaching for things that have never once filled the hole inside you. And that terrifies you. Because if you stop, if you truly let go is not hiding from you. It is not waiting for you. It is beneath you, buried under years of conditioning, buried under the fear that if you stop chasing, your life will lose meaning. But what if the opposite is true? What if the only way to find happiness is to stop looking for it? What if the moment you let go of the need to feel happy, happiness finally has space to exist? This is the thing no one wants to admit. Happiness is not something you chase. It is something you allow. And it does not come when you get everything you want. It comes when you stop needing everything to be different. It comes when you stop believing that your life must look a certain way before you are allowed to be at peace. So the real question is not, how do I find happiness? The real question is, what happens when you stop